Luke 8 tells this incredible story of Jesus ministering with his disciples, and then all of a sudden they hop into a boat and they begin to cross to the other side of the lake. And if you know this story, it's pretty infamous. Jesus, being worn out from a long period of ministry, he falls asleep in the back of the boat. And what happens is a crazy storm begins to rise up, and the disciples are freaked out. Jesus is sleeping in the back of the boat, and the disciples are looking at the storm that's all around them, and they eventually get to the place where they decide, we need to do something. Let's wake Jesus up. This is not the type of situation he should be sleeping through. So they wake Jesus up. What happens next is incredible, but there's a lesson in it for you and I. So Jesus wakes up and they say, Master, Master, we are perishing. And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And I just think, man, isn't that what you and I want Jesus to do, right? Are we in the midst of a hard situation and we're just going to want to shake Jesus and be like, hello, the world is going crazy right now. Do you see these problems in my life? Please do something. And we want Jesus to do for us what Jesus did for the disciples. We want him to rebuke the winds, to rebuke the waves, and bring about calm in our story. And that is the very thing that Jesus does. So not to say that Jesus doesn't do that, but there's an interesting rebuke that he has for the disciples as well. He said to them, where is your faith? And they were afraid and they marveled, saying to one another, who then is this that he commands even winds and water, and they obey him? So many lessons in this small story, but where I want to camp for today is the question that Jesus asks his disciples. Where is your faith? Because I think what he is asking is, was your faith in me being awake and answering this? Was your faith in the external circumstances? Was your faith in me performing for you what you wanted me to do? Or was your faith simply in my presence? Because Jesus is the God of the universe. Jesus is the God of our circumstance. So where is your faith? I know for me personally, when I get into a hard, discouraging time, a time that feels, honestly, the best way I can describe it, like a storm, what happens to me is I begin to magnify my circumstances. It's like all of life stops and all I can see are the problems raging all around me. And I think in that moment, the voice that I need to hear is the voice of Jesus saying, where is your faith? Putting it even in a little bit of a different way, where is your focus? Is your focus on the waves, or is your focus on Jesus and his presence? Because if your focus is on Jesus and his presence, you don't need to be freaking out. You don't need to be trying to wake Jesus up. You can just be trusting that if Jesus is in the boat with you, you will make it to the other side of this storm. I love that we have a God who does what the disciples asked him to do, calm the storm. But I think it's good for us to take heart and to ask the question that Jesus asked his disciples in the midst of a storm. Where is your faith? Do we trust God to get us to the other side, or do we need him to calm the storm right now? If you find yourself in the midst of a storm, I hope you do cry out to God. I hope you do ask him in all of your heart to calm the storm. But I hope for you and for me that we have the type of faith that Jesus was looking for in his disciples. A faith that says, because you are here with me, I know even if the waves remain, even if the storm stays, you will carry me to the other side because your presence is where my faith is. I hope that encourages you.
Hey, thanks for watching that refuel. We would love you to subscribe below. Hit the subscribe button for this YouTube channel because this Bayside YouTube channel is where we send out all of our video content so you can get all of it. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.